Hey guys, before we get going, I just want to announce that I'm starting a new giveaway where I'm going to give away free 1-month trial memberships to our Discord server. You will have everything unlocked, so you'll be able to use the voice chat and be in every single channel. And all you have to do is, if this video gets at least 30 likes within the first 24 hours of it going live, I will randomly select a YouTube comment below. And as long as you're a subscriber, you will get a free 1-month membership to the Discord server. Also, for those members that are already in the Discord server, if you are chosen as the winner, I will refund you your 1-month fee so that you can also participate in this giveaway. So all you have to do is smash the like button, get this video up to 30 likes at least within the first day of this video going live. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a YouTube comment below. Hope to see you in there. Hey guys, how's it going? It is the end of another trading week. Overall, not a great week. We started off strong, but had some red days like today. So taking a look at the heat map here, you can see a lot of red on the board. Again, NASDAQ, the QQQs got pretty hit hard. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple, all down between about 1 to 3%. Semis also got hit hard. Qualcomm down 3.7%. AMD and Nvidia both down over 2%. Even Micron was in the red today by about 0.5%. So overall, rough day in the market. Not a lot was green. I mean, some of the pharma stocks like Eli Lilly, J&J were green. AbbVie. There's a little bit of a vaccine pump, I want to say, because there was a presidential press conference in the afternoon, and the president suggested that everybody is going to have a vaccine by April of next year. We'll have to wait and see, but that may have pumped some of these pharma stocks up a little bit. But as you can see, the market didn't really react that well to that Trump pump. Let's take a look at AMD's trading graph here. And as you can see, we did open up green slightly, up 0.4%, but pretty much from market open to just about 1:30 p.m., all we did was sell off. We did rally from that point on a little bit, but we still ended up closing the day on AMD down 2.2%. So the downside of this is that my stocks have depreciated in value because I own 200 shares of AMD and I was assigned 200 shares at $85 a share. As we can see, we're basically trading at just under $75. So I'm actually losing right now $10 per share times 200 shares. So I am actually down $2,000 on my 200 shares of AMD. The silver lining though is that this week I sold 2 covered calls and I sold them for $97 a piece. So obviously we are still trading way below my strike price of $85. So I am going to be pretty profitable already on those AMD options. Let's just see how profitable. So I sold some covered calls and they're actually expiring next Friday, the 25th, not today. I sold them at the 85 strike. So let's just see. I sold them for $97 in premium, and currently they're going for only $13 in premium. So right now, 97 minus 13, I am up $84 per contract. Times 2 contracts, I'm up $168. Yes, it's a drop in the bucket compared to what I've lost on my shares of stock, but if I wasn't trading options and I just held shares of AMD, well, I would be down exactly $2,000 pretty much. This way, I can keep selling covered calls to basically recoup some of my losses, and then hopefully once AMD goes to 85 or above, I can sell off my shares. I'll not have that stock depreciation anymore, and maybe I'll even have a little bit of stock appreciation, and I'll come out on the other end even more profitable than where I am currently. So that's the overall goal for the wheel strategy. You know, taking a look at the TradingView chart on AMD, I am not too worried because something really important happened today in my opinion. So here's the TradingView chart here. Just to recap, if you haven't seen a lot of my recent DD videos, these yellow lines represent areas of what I believe to be support and resistance. These light blue lines here represent gaps. So you can see the closest gap right now is in the low 70s. I want to say between about $71 to $73 or $74. The next gap, if we break through that, is going to be in the low 60s from about, let's say, $62 to $64. Now, I really hope we don't get to this gap. But right now, something interesting happened. So this is the daily chart. So every candle here represents 1 day of trading. And so you can see this red candle here is today. So this wick, you can see, basically touched this gap, the top of the gap, at just under $74. But thankfully, we did not close there. We actually closed at just shy of $75 at $74.93. And post-market, we're up a penny at $74.94. But I say that's good because that tells me that my trend line here at 75 is acting as a pretty strong area of support, because as you can see today and yesterday, we didn't really close or break down below that trend line. Yes, we did dip below that intraday, but we ended up closing the day pretty much right on that trend line. So that tells me that right now, AMD wants to trade above or at the very least at $75. So that's good news for me, because the further AMD drops, the further out of the money my strikes are. And that would mean it's going to be harder for me to collect good premium at my cost basis. If it keeps continuing to drop, I'll probably have to open up more covered calls lower than my cost basis to collect a decent return on my capital. But we'll wait and see what happens. And I also don't want AMD to drop below 75, because I think if that happens, then we are certainly going to hit basically $71 or $70, because there's a gap to fill there. And the other thing is that you can see this pink line here is the 50-day moving average. And yes, we did close the day below that. So that's a little bit worrying. I'm really hoping when we trade on Monday, we close or gap up above that 50-day moving average. Because if we do break below the 50-day MA and we start trading below it, that is going to be a bearish sign. So we'll have to wait and see. The other thing that I don't like is right now, this 21-day moving average is kind of closing in on the 50-day moving average. So I'm really hoping that these two don't cross, because if the 21-day moving average crosses below the 50-day moving average, again, that's going to be a bearish indicator. So we'll have to wait and see what happens Monday, but I am somewhat pleased that we did not kind of gap down or drop too far below what I believe to be an area of support at 74.75. Now, I do think resistance is at about 80. So in terms of selling more covered calls, I could sell them if I wanted to be relatively aggressive at maybe like $81, $82 to collect more premium, because like I said, if I believe that 80 is the resistance level, it's going to be really hard for AMD to break past above 80, especially in a week or two of trading, as long as something crazy doesn't happen, like good news like a stimulus bill passing, which may happen. So that's also why I'm a little hesitant to not sell my covered calls below my cost basis, because I don't want to have to roll these options out or basically have my shares get called away for a little bit of a loss. We'll have to wait and see what happens Monday. The other thing to keep in mind is that this coming month, or actually say next month, in October, AMD is going to release some of their specs on their new GPUs and CPUs. And then mid-October, on October 15th, AMD also has its earnings. So I'm not too concerned about bag holding shares of AMD for a month or two, because I think there are some catalysts coming up that may kind of make that share price of AMD pop back up to the 80s or even 90s, maybe even to 100, who knows. So that's my trading week on AMD. Let's take a look at Space or Virgin Galactic, see how that did today. Again, Virgin Galactic opened up in the green, kind of was deciding whether it wants to be up in green or down into the red, choppy very early in the morning until about, let's say, 10:45. And then it traded in the red for most of the day, but still very choppy. And we ended up actually closing the day green, but barely. I mean, we're up maybe 0.1, 0.2%, and we're still choppy, as you can see, after hours. But we are up 0.06% compared to where we closed yesterday. So, you know, I'll take it for what it is. Again, I have covered calls on Space because I own 200 shares at $19 a piece, or at least that's what I was assigned at, not accounting for the premiums that I've been collecting for the past month or so now. And again, because I'm so far out of the money right now, these things are going to be pretty worthless. Let's just see. I sold them for $60 a piece, and I sold two of them. They're currently trading for $12, so 60 minus 12 if I wanted to buy them back. I'm currently profitable by $48 a piece times 2, so I'm up almost $100 right now on my Space covered calls. You know, we'll see. If these things lose a lot of their value, like early next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, I'll probably just close the positions out and open up some more covered calls on both Space and AMD. And I will say, I have liked opening up 2-week to expiration covered calls and options this week as opposed to my usually weeklies. I feel it's a little bit less stressful. I don't have to kind of watch the stock as much or as close as I used to. So maybe I'll look into opening up longer expirations this coming trading days and these coming trading weeks, because I will say I do like the 2-week premiums right now. The premiums were juicy. It's a lot less stress. I'm sleeping a little bit better at night. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look at the space chart on TradingView. And again, I said in my video yesterday that I think that around just shy of $17 seems to be an area of support, because that's actually the 23.6% Fibonacci level as well. And again, today the wick got pretty close to that range, but we still ended up closing right at the 21-day moving average. So it's going to be interesting come Monday morning to see if space is going to use this 21-day moving average as support, meaning is it going to bounce up and off it, or is it going to use it as resistance and bounce down and off it? Really interesting. Curious to see what happens. I don't like that space had a bearish crossover here with the 21-day moving average crossing below the 50-day moving average. So that's overall a little bit bearish on space. But if we are able to bounce off the 21-day moving average and up early next week, then that is going to be a more of a bullish sign for me. So that's going to be great for me. And again, it'll help me decide where I want to sell my next covered calls if I do close out my positions early. As we can see, I think the next area of resistance is a little over $18, about 18 and some change. And then I think above that, this is probably going to be an area of resistance, the 50-day moving average, which is somewhere in the 19s. And then we have this trend line, which is in the mid-20s. So I think roughly 18, 19, 20 are 3 areas of resistance for space or Virgin Galactic. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that was my trading week for this week. Overall, of course, I am in the red just because I've lost a lot of value in stock depreciation. But in terms of my options, I am very profitable this week. So I'll take it for what it's worth. I'll take that as a win because I think I've picked good stocks in space and AMD, and I think they can hit the share prices that I was assigned shares. But let me know how your trading week went. As always, leave a YouTube comment below if you have any questions or comments. And as always, happy trading.